to talk about email marketing for e-commerce. This is an absolutely crucial element to the success of any e-commerce business. And the reason being is that it actually turns potential prospects into immediate customers if done correctly. Not only that, but it actually is a really good resource for repeat business. So, first things first, how do you actually get email subscribers? It's interesting because Google actually announced about 3 or 4 years ago that pop-ups were no longer best practices for companies. They were basically telling you that your site was going to get dinged if you had pop-ups on it when it came to organic listings. And a lot of marketers started to remove pop-ups from their site to improve that user experience. But if you'll notice, pretty much most e-commerce sites that you go to nowadays do have a pop-up on them. We found that it is still a super viable method for getting new customers. It's actually crucial in increasing your email subscriber list. So, on your homepage for any e-commerce website, you should have a pop-up. It's often best practices to give some sort of offer or incentive for people to subscribe. So that's going to be like a 10% off your first order, 15% off. Some people do the spinning wheel, which I personally don't love, but it actually does produce results. So you have a lot of options in actually getting that put onto the website. One of my favorite apps to use specifically for Shopify and WooCommerce is Just Uno. It's super easy to use. It integrates with most email platforms and it's pretty user-friendly. One of the best options about it is its design capabilities are great. You can customize for mobile, you can customize for desktop, you can set a lot of triggers and basically really go ham with the integration and what you're trying to accomplish with it. So Just Uno is definitely one to look at. WooCommerce comes with Opt-in Monster, which actually is pretty effective, and technically I think they did copyright the exit intent pop-up, so that's also a really good opportunity. It's not something we're going to discuss today. So, once you actually have people subscribing to your email list, what do you do next? Well, obviously you got to communicate to them, right? So, when they subscribe, you want to put them into some sort of automated sequence, but don't just do it to do it. Effectively with email, just like any other platform, you're really here to provide value. And every single thing that we talk about as professional marketers is going to come back to that one singular concept. Are you providing value to your customers? Good search engine optimization, providing value. Good marketing campaigns, providing value. And with email, it's no different. So make sure that if you're building out an automation sequence, you're not just spinning your wheels or talk just to talk. You're actually giving those customers something that's valuable to them. With e-commerce clients, what I typically recommend for an automation or a weekly or monthly newsletter is new product launches, upgrades to their existing products, things you're doing to give back to the community, things that are cool and exciting in your industry. Basically things that if you were to receive those emails yourselves, you would get excited about. So, next step, how do you decide the email platform that's best for you? I think hands down, there's actually no competition when it comes to this. I think Klaviyo within the email marketing space is the clear winner. First off, it's a platform specifically dedicated towards email marketing for e-commerce customers. So that means that instead of going after, an automation sequence or some sort of drip campaign, it is actually fully integrated into your e-commerce platform. If you're using Shopify, which I do typically recommend for most e-commerce clients, that integration is pretty seamless. Your customers and how they interact with your store is all built into the data and analytics that Klaviyo is taking into its system. Your dynamic content for your products can also be pulled into email campaigns so that you're not just sending generic emails, you're actually sending emails that the customers of yours have actually paid attention to when they look at the products on the website. So this gives you a really good opportunity to leverage way more data. But here's the scary part. Oftentimes when we hear something like that, leveraging more data, aggregating more data, we get scared, right? We don't know what to do with it. A lot of marketers set up Google Analytics and then actually never take a look under the hood. But the beauty of Klaviyo is actually has a lot of built-in funnels where you basically plug and play. You plug and play your logo, you plug and play your content, and it actually builds that funnel out for you. So if you're not using Klaviyo, you're actually leaving money on the table. And by that, I mean when you're using a generic email platform like MailChimp or what have you, you're not integrating all those data points that lead to a better customer experience. If you can connect your customers with similar products, upgrades to the products that they purchased, reminding them of products that they left in your cart with a better abandoned cart email, well, now you're increasing your average order value, now you're increasing the lifetime value of that customer, and it's basically a win-win. With the more successful e-commerce companies that I've worked with, I would say that email typically accounts for 25 to 40% of their monthly revenue. I did not stutter. That was actually the truth. 25 to 40% of their monthly revenue. So if you're like plenty of clients that I've had in the past and say, hey, I don't actually pay attention to email, I hate spam email, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the data and the performance and the results. So if you're going to be losing, or leaving out about 40% of the potential revenue you can be getting, then it's a no-brainer to sign up for this email platform. I would say that Klaviyo is typically a little bit more expensive than the other platforms you're going to run into, but I think that cost is well justified with the level of detail and a level of data analytics and pre-built campaigns that it provides you. So effectively, make sure that you're leveraging email as much as possible. And again, the main reasons for doing so: reminding customers that you exist. So general branding, right? 2, making sure that you're not forgetting about past customers. This is one of the biggest causes for stagnation I've seen with e-commerce companies, seeing them flatline in terms of growth and performance, is they forget about their previous customers. If you're not creating anything new for them to participate in, they're no longer going to be brand advocates for you. Email is one of the best platforms to make sure you're ensuring that you're getting in front of them and you're providing them additional value with those new product launches, with those new ideas, with those upsell opportunities. At the end of the day, if you're making that person's life better, even if it's an upsell for your business and makes you more money, it's still a win-win. So make sure you're doing that. And then last but not least, obviously, if customers are on the fence, email is a great opportunity to make sure you're getting in front of them. You're basically building out that level of remarketing and that you're continuing to provide that value and showcase why they should choose your product over the competition. There are a lot of brands that I really like to follow when it comes to email, and what I've found to be the most effective are ones that have some element of movement in them. I personally love GIFs when it comes to email. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but you want to keep your email simple, right? Unless you're a super gritty brand, I would say a white background is a very clean play. With Klaviyo, again, you can do dynamic content and bring your products actually into the email campaign dedicated towards that specific user. So that's kind of a no-brainer. And then with the actual content itself, you want to keep it short and simple unless you're providing value. So there are people out there who will read 3 to 4 page emails, but the majority of your users won't. And especially for e-commerce, you want to get straight and to the point. Last but not least, don't be spammy. Otherwise, you're going to get unsubscribed and your email platform and your actual domain can get blacklisted. So if you're not providing value, don't send those emails. i.e., if someone's already purchased your one product from you and they've already referred people to buy your product, don't keep sending them the same email over and over for Memorial Day, President's Day, what have you, on that one product. Make sure you're providing that value with additional benefit for them. So I hope this is helpful. Again, I do highly recommend Klaviyo as your go-to email campaign, specifically for Shopify and e-commerce. If you guys do have any questions on that implementation, let me know, and I can get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks.